Hey, welcome to Tech Factuala, where you can stay up to date with the latest progress of technologies and gadgets. The Mirai is here, and it's the start of a new era of zero-emission hydrogen-powered mobility. It's just as easy as a traditional vehicle. The name Mirai in Japanese means future, but we know that it has to be open and appealing to people today to make our new Toyota fuel cell system technology efficient. The Mirai is a standard mid-size four-door sedan that is practical, safe, and simple to drive as a conventionally driven family car, although it is an incredibly advanced powertrain and uses a new form of fuel. It will go as far as a diesel car of the same size in a full hydrogen tank, and it will take between 3 and 5 minutes to refuel from empty. The rewards are quiet, smooth drive, strong performance, and no tailpipe emissions other than water vapor. If you want to be updated about top technologies, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more content like this in the future. And don't forget to click that bell icon to be the first to know when our new videos go up. Let's begin with everything you need to know about Toyota Mirai and its hydrogen fuel cell. The Toyota Mirai is a Toyota-made mid-size hydrogen fuel cell electric vehicle, an FCEV, and is one of the first FCEV cars to be commercially produced and sold in bulk. The Mirai was unveiled at the Los Angeles Auto Show in November of 2014. Without years of intensive study, rigorous testing, and lots of revolutionary technology, Toyota Mirai is the world's first mass-produced hydrogen fuel cell vehicle, secure by design. The Mirai is ready to push the hydrogen fuel cell journey forward after more than 20 years of intense study and rigorous testing. Explore the principles and systems of Toyota fuel cell protection that have been developed to keep you healthy. The science behind the safety. When the Mirai was engineered, protection was the primary target. 4 basic values are the foundation of the patented safety scheme. Each chosen material is used to store hydrogen safely. The device automatically shuts down when the hydrogen output valve of the tank to prevent the oxygen from traveling to potentially damaged systems outside the tank. Both sections dealing with hydrogen are located outside the cabin are built to help ensure that leaked hydrogen does not build up. As the gas is lighter than air, it disperses easily, minimizing the time window that it has to inflict harm in the event of ignition. Number 1. Body structure and design. The Mirai features a special frame designed to effectively disperse crash powers. In the event of a crash, the impact force is distributed all around the passenger cabin, the Toyota fuel cell stack, and hydrogen tanks, reducing deformation of the body and helping to reduce the risk of injury. Number 2. Pre-crash system. Millimeter wave radar is used by the pre-crash system to identify other vehicles on the road ahead. The driver is alerted to audio and visual warnings when the risk of a collision is identified and brake assistance is triggered. Number 3. Blind spot monitor. The blind spot monitor, or BSM, uses radar sensors to monitor the surroundings continuously for the presence of other vehicles in the blind spot of a driver. BSM alerts the driver through a visual warning indicator in the door mirror on the appropriate side of the vehicle when the turn indicator is triggered. Number 4. Rear cross traffic alert. If any unidentified vehicles are approaching as they reverse out of a restricted parking space, the rear cross traffic alarm identifies and informs the driver through an audible warning and visual warning in the door mirror. Number 5. 8 SRS airbags. The cabin is fitted with an integrated airbag system. The front and rear side curtain airbags, driver's knee, and front passenger seat cushion airbags are for the driver and front passenger. What is the secret of fuel cells? Hydrogen fuel cell vehicle sounds pretty exotic, but in fact it's just an electric car that substitutes a relatively thin, lightweight, and expensive electrochemical device that generates electricity on board for the bulky, heavy, and expensive grid-charged battery pack. The fuel cell is the power plant of the system. Hydrogen gas extracted from an onboard pressure tank reacts with a catalyst, usually made of platinum in it. The method strips the hydrogen electrons, releasing them to do their thing, which is the electricity that flows to power the car via the electric motor. The electrons return to the fuel cell after their job is completed, where, in the presence of oxygen drawn in from the ambient air, they are reunited with the parent hydrogen. They meet at the ratio of 2 hydrogen atoms to 1 oxygen atom. Presto presto, it's vapor or H2O, before it dribbles out of the vehicle's tailpipe as a mixture of steam and purified water. It helps to cool down the stack. All those excited molecules create a ton of heat. Not all that many electrons are generated by one fuel cell, so automakers tie score of the flat, rectangular cells together in a stack of fuel cells to get enough juice to power a car or a truck. The stack acts much like the battery, releasing electricity in a constant flow to power the vehicle's electric motor and auxiliary electronics. Usually, fuel cell stacks are sized to produce just slightly more power than can be used by the vehicle under normal acceleration and cruising conditions. The surplus, supplemented with electricity from the regenerative braking system of the car, is stored in a small lithium-ion battery for use when the vehicle requires an additional burst of power. Once the fuel cell stack does its magic, thanks to the strong torque output of the electric motor, the vehicle is like any other electric drive vehicle on the track, driving in near silence with tons of acceleration. Where do we get the hydrogen? The most popular element in Earth is hydrogen, so there are no concerns about shortages. However, it never occurs as free hydrogen. Usually, it is related to something else, such as hydrogen in water or natural gas. In the United States, we generate plenty of hydrogen, mainly by reforming natural gas to break down the molecules and cut off their hydrogen atoms. And for the fertilizer industry, much of what we produce is used in processing oil or producing ammonia. The tank of hydrogen fuel cell car is measured in kilograms. The energy equivalent of a 4-gallon of gasoline contains 4 kilograms of hydrogen tank, 8.8 pounds. The hydrogen fuel stations of today will fill such a tank within 3 to 5 minutes. Is hydrogen fuel safe? Hydrogen behaves differently from gasoline, but it is generally just as safe as the gasoline we now put in the fuel tanks of most cars. In fact, the general gasoline tank contains 3 to 4 times the energy of the hydrogen tanks used by the first fuel cell electric vehicles, and therefore 3 to 4 times the explosive capacity. The vapors do not accumulate on the ground, as do the heavier-than-air vapors of gasoline. So, hydrogen does not present as large a fire or explosion threat in most situations. Nearly all hydrogen fuel stations store gas above ground in well-vented areas in order to further reduce the explosion potential. What will they cost? For competitive purposes, among other items, car makers don't want to report their prices. But when Honda started testing its FCX Clarity fuel cell sedan in 2008, it was called a $1 million car by most journalists, and the automaker did not object. Since then, however, most of the discussion has been on how much the costs have been reduced as the fuel cell technology has improved. Over the past decade, Hyundai said it had cut the cost of constructing its fuel cell electric vehicle by 70%. It expects the cost of fuel cell cars to achieve parity with the cost of conventional cars of equivalent sizes and equipment by 2020. Where would I get fuel? The slow rollout of vehicles that drive like battery-powered electric cars but get their fuel from a pump rather than a plug could be assisted by a limited network of hydrogen fuel stations. In California, there are only 10 public stations currently, but 17 more are under construction. The state has a hydrogen fuel initiative that, by the end of 2017, will see 68 stations strategically placed in the Southern and Bay Area metropolitan areas of California, with a goal of 100 stations by 2020. Construction funding is provided by grants from the Alternative and Sustainable Fuel and Vehicle Technology Program of California, at an average of about $1.5 million per station. The ultimate goal is a coast-to-coast and border-to-border network that will make owning and driving a fuel cell vehicle as easy as owning and driving gasoline and diesel vehicles is today. So these were some facts that you needed to know about the Toyota Mirai and its fuel cell. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe so you can join the Tech Factuala squad and be a part of our channel. Thanks for watching!